A few of you have messaged me recently and asked, "Hey Kelly, how do I know when I'm in the flow?" And I think that's an awesome question. And it really does just explain itself. Being in the flow means everything just feels organic and natural. There's no pushing or pulling. There's no effort involved at all. Again, this doesn't mean you just lay around resting in your hammock and walking around your acreage, which I often do in the mornings. There's a lot more busyness that's happening. The normal life busyness. I don't record all of it. I'm a vlogger, that's for sure, but I don't take my phone with me everywhere. I have certain times that I allow myself to play with my drone or play with my photography, but normally I put it all down and I just let life do itself. What I'm needed to do will arise. Who I'm needed to speak with will arise. Where I'm meant to go will arise. Of course, we have to still chop wood and carry water. The necessity to live is part of this earth experience, but that does not mean it has to be arduous, heavy-handed, or over-dabbling in any area of life. The flow is really just trusting what's arising, letting life guide the way. If there are catnaps involved in the day, that's awesome. If there is running about and chaotic, meetings and whatnot happening, that's also awesome. The flow manages all of it. It's less about a doing and more about a witnessing and noticing things just gravitate to the right places. It's part of homeostasis. If you put water in a pan and you're moving it from the kitchen sink to the counter, you'll see it sloshing back and forth with bubbles all about. But as you lay it down, that water eventually settles. The bubbles stop popping and everything just rests easily. That's the flow. You are those bubbles in that water being moved about, yet you've never been separate from it. As I move about the acreage here, and we wander and we walk, and we meditate, and we read, and we do all the things. We have client sessions. We go in our bubble sometimes just to, peer out into the scale of life without the cold. But sometimes we allow ourselves to just be in the cold. Breathe that invigorating air in. Enjoy it. The crispness is part of the flow. There's nothing here that needs to be excluded. It's all perfect. Divine in nature, I keep pointing to this. There's a reason for that. It speaks for itself. It doesn't need to be spoken about. I love throwing the drone up in the air in the same spot and seeing how differently the trees look, the clouds, the smokes in the air, the chimneys rising above the farmhouses, the cows and the horses and the birdies moving about. Nothing is set. The flow is forever flowing. You can look at two things twice and never see the same thing. I love this about rainbows. I love that we can all look at them, and yet we never know if we're all seeing the same thing. This is the way of it. Lifing. May you enjoy it all, appreciate it all, and love it all as part of it that you always have been. Much love. Until next time.